Oh yeah, honestly, we could do a podcast on Joker.
Oh, it's happening.
If we don't have.
Hey,
Ooh,
what
that's
up,
loud.
everybody? It's a return of the Talking Normies podcast, season 2. Who really gives a shit at this point? The return of The Walking Dead. We need to know what's gonna happen. Is it dead yet?
Never.
Wow. And for those guys out there joining us for the first time around, we are the Normies, and I am the host of the show, Chris Johnson.
Too loud.
Too loud?
Yeah.
Then why did you point up? Okay, there you go.
Okay.
This guy right here who doesn't know the difference between up and down is
Mickey.
Oh my God. And over here, catty corner to Mickey with all the snot rags and the 1920s comb knife.
Thank you, Joe Max.
May I have a snot rag?
My name is Rick Grimes.
Rick.
What's your legal name?
Sewage.
I don't think that's his actual legal name either. And over here to my catty corner, we got
I see what you did.
Woo! So, guys, today we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead. I'm sure everybody knows about this show. I would give you a recap of everything that's happened on The Walking Dead up to this point, but that would literally take the entire podcast.
A lot of stuff, and then a whole lot of nothing, and then now stuff again.
Yes. So it's been a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs. But before we get started with all that, I do want to tell people I've got some important podcast news.
Oh, shit.
You might be wondering where you can hear this podcast at offline or as in not live. You can hear it on Stitcher, on Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Spotify. And eventually I will be tackling Anchor. Also, you can hear it on YouTube here. So you guys let me know where you listen to your podcast at, and I'm going to figure out a way to get our podcast on that.
Dopeness.
So there's a 24 to 25 episodes, depending on how you look at it. The 21st episode is a mystery episode that doesn't exist yet, but will be re-existing soon. So, yeah, find our podcast, find the mystery, and see if you can put all the dots together.
Where is it on Spotify? Under the Normies?
No, it's under the Talking Normies podcast. You can find it everywhere under the Talking Normies podcast.
Is that with a G or with an N? Talking? Or
Talking Normies podcast. All right. So today we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Mainly season 9 as we move into season 10. A lot of shit when I started looking at like what all I was doing the recap and I was looking at what all happened last season. So much actually went down. Like the main character dies. There's a fucking time jump.
He didn't die.
He disappeared. We're going to be talking about what we want to happen with Rick. The very last question is, what do you think is going to happen with Rick? But we know he's going to be in the movies. But we're going to talk about what we think he's going to be tackling in the movies. So, first question is, how do you feel about Walking Dead up to this point?
Well,
Mickey?
you know,
Starting off on positive.
it's like an honor roll. It's like if you have a child that's like an honor roll student, and then they do something really bad and get arrested for it, but now they're trying to turn their life back around, and you're like, I'll support you, but you did a really shitty thing, and I'm never going to forget that.
I'll never forget.
But it's your kid.
Well, yeah, that's why we're going to support it, but they also did a shitty thing that,
Yeah. So is there anything particular that stuck out to you? Like, I mean, like, leading up to this. Since
definitely, I didn't want to watch it anymore after the whole Rick thing happened, but then I did, and the writing is definitely a lot better. The world building is a lot better. It's a lot better.
Even leading up to the Rick thing was actually pretty good.
All things considered, it's pretty good and watchable now, but it's just like, I feel like it's just by obligation.
So give me an eye roll moment that happened like before this, like back when
the 100th episode where they completely missed the ball, and it was like the jump cuts between static people shooting and then static shots of windows breaking. It's like, what are y'all doing?
Oh, is that also the one where it seemed like Rick really had a chance to shoot the shit out of Negan and
Yeah.
didn't? I have that as a complaint on mine. That
Joke's
like
on
10
you,
times.
Mickey. Negan didn't have insurance, and Rick knew that. So he wanted to break all the windows.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
State Farm.
Scare
State
tactic,
Farm's-
fanboys will say it was a scare tactic, but
Scare tactic.
Negan was literally out there monologuing for 5 minutes, and they could have all
Wasn't he
shot.
also, because that was the same episode with him and Gabriel end up being in that trailer together, but like right before that, I feel like Negan was taking cover behind a thing that was like easily shootable. And they're like,
Well, Hollywood. That's a little different for me because in every Hollywood movie, it's like I'm gonna get behind this thin table and that will protect.
No, like
me.
I feel like it was like someone had line of sight on him. And
Okay.
Shoot a like Negan shaped hole around him. What about you, Sodachicha?
I'm sorry, I'm pulling up a chat.
Oh, that's my voice.
Oh, wow. So how do I feel about Walking Dead up to this point? I love the show. I always wanted, before the show even started, it was in my head to create some sort of zombie show that just went on for a while, because zombie movies could only go so far. They never have sequels, and usually when they end, it's like, oh, they got overrun by zombies at the end anyway, everyone dies.
Yeah.
But this one is a story that we can actually see what happens. I think Robert Kirkman, when he started this, he wanted to do a zombie genre comic about what would happen at the end of, like, after the end of, like, your typical zombie movie.
Yeah.
So it started out great, obviously. I know the show has had ups and downs all the way. I will say season 9 was better than season 7 and 8 combined.
Yeah.
And even Rick Lincoln said, like, I left the show at the wrong time when he was talking to Norman Reedus about how season 9 was going. Mm-hmm. So Walking Dead holds a special place in my heart. Savage Rick is one of my favorite characters ever.
It's my favorite kind of
Seasons
Rick.
5 and 6 were like some of the best in my opinion. And then it really started going downhill for me with the Glenn cliffhanger.
Give me a quick second. Will you pull your thing off the top of your mic real quick? Pull the fuzzy part off. Which way is your gold dot facing? Yeah, that's why it sounds weird. Your mic's backwards. Nope, just unscrew the bottom guy.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
I mean, the show started out.
I think everybody wants to hear how good you sound.
Hey, do I sound better
Is
now?
your gold thing
Yes,
this way?
a lot.
All right, so basically,
No.
I love the show. I am willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, but like Mickey said, they have made some egregious mistakes. Killing Carl, I think, was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And the splitting up of the cliffhangers, the constant, we got to get more viewers to tune in next week, so we have to dick tease every ending of every episode was getting a little excessive. But like I said, season 9 was on the right track.
That I was really annoyed. So because I remember super well that it's also, I think, one of the first videos we did that got like 1 million views. But the episode where everybody actually dies from Negan was so good, and it hit emotionally and all of that. And you're like, well, couldn't you have either, like, last season didn't have to be the kind of cliffhanger it was, the one we made fun of, where we also got a watermelon full of chicken blood for that skin.
Oh, we had Will bust it.
Yeah. So they didn't have to do that. They could have like left without that portion there and done something different, because the beginning of the next season was so good and so strong. And then that was probably like the strongest part of that whole arc was like, God.
Yeah. I also think, I mean, it was unexpected, but I think killing Abraham at that moment was a mistake as well. Because he was the perfect mix of comic relief and action. Yeah.
Action nonsense.
And like All Out War would have been perfect to highlight his character even more.
Yeah, he's an old soldier. What about you, Marketifer?
First off, little background on me. I'm a fuckboy, and I did not see all of it. I only watched, I think, season 7, 8, 9.
I think she came in on literally the episode that was kind of a bottle where Carol and Maggie are kidnapped by some of Negan's men before you even see
the
Negan.
Negan
Like,
ladies.
the
There was the
worst-
redhead
the
chick.
worst part of the show.
613.
Jesus Christ, Serge.
Yeah.
Somebody check that.
So just, I want to clarify that I don't know all the specifics. So I will only talk about the things that I've seen. There was a point where I just didn't understand why the show is still alive, but it has gotten significantly better. Now it's kind of taken a second breath, I feel. And it's really the fact that they brought in new characters that are moving the plot in a bit of a different direction. I think it's refreshing, and it's a good kind of like, I don't know, restart of the whole franchise. I don't know if that's the right word.
No, it's like the start of a new show.
It does kind of feel like that.
But there are some things that are just unforgivable for me. Like when Rick survived and just was taken off in the helicopter, I just didn't expect for them to do that, because they literally killed Carl for what I thought was no reason at all, and then they just let Rick skedaddle on a helicopter. That was weird. And also the Maggie and Daryl evil scene at the end of that one. Was it season 8? Season 9?
No, it's the one with Oceanside. Like after Oceanside guys capped them, and they were like, they were just pissed.
There's just like the very last scene, and just Maggie and Daryl just like in the shadows, just like, we're going to kill them all.
Civil War.
What?
We
was
warred
weird.
outside.
But those are just like little like missteps that I just wanted to talk about. But overall, I really enjoyed last season and the season before that as well. I'm very surprised with the progression, but I would like to see this end in probably the next 2 seasons.
I hope that would happen, but I don't think it is. So for me, there were been a lot of...
P.S. A second spin-off show is premiering in
God damn
the
it.
spring.
What's it called?
Fear the Walking Dead.
Is it called The Crawling Dead? And it's all about the babies of the apocalypse?
Yes.
It's about the Jumping Dead, and it's all the zombie kangaroos that have taken over Australia.
It's Mekhi Phifer's kid from the Dawn of the Dead remake that they have to shoot.
Oh my god.
Fun fact, I ate a kangaroo while I was on vacation.
Oh.
I'll tell you about it later.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
So Walking Dead has always had a lot of ups and downs and characters that I really like that eventually annoy me, and just it's been constantly like that. It's been a roller coaster for me. I think I've said this multiple times, but right before I joined the channel, I was going to quit watching Walking Dead. I remember I was like, well, I'm done. This is it. I don't have to watch Walking Dead anymore. I'm letting this shit go. It's over, Walking Dead. I'm sorry. It's not me. It's you.
And then the Normies happened.
And then I was like, Sir, what are you guys watching? You doing Game of Thrones? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, what else? I'm like, Walking Dead. I'm like,
I remember talking to you about season 2 of The Walking Dead when we had class together. We had that, it was like a CSCI class, remember?
Oh,
we
yeah,
all just like took the test together at the end.
Yeah, because that was the only way
Yeah.
anybody was going to pass.
Yeah. We would just talk to you. We were like, oh yeah, they shot Carl, the Otis, and Shane is crazy. It was
Yeah, look, and I hated season 2 at the time, but I look back on all the other missteps. Season 2 was all right, man. There was a zombie in the well. There
Season 2 was really good, actually.
The fucking reveal at the end when Shane finally goes bad.
Sophia in the barn.
All that shit was really
Season
good.
2 was awesome.
What
And then-
reminds me, I think if we ever needed time, I think it would be really fun for Marquetta to watch
No.
those early seasons. I think she really enjoys
No,
it.
no.
I actually watched the pilot.
Because it's seriously
one of
it-
the best
The pilot's
episodes.
really good.
I really think the first few
sorry I
seasons
interrupted you.
is like a masterpiece. It really is.
Yeah, and even season 1 is super short, and I actually love
It's
that.
a masterpiece.
I fucking like. It didn't have time to overstay its welcome or do a part A and a part B. And then, like, I remember, we're talking about it. I remember specifically being super annoyed with the governor because I was like, all right, this guy's cool. Michonne's cool. All this shit's cool, right? And then, like, the governor's arc felt like it ended. And then that's when they started doing the A and B. And then the governor was back again. And I was like, well, what the fuck? And then after that, it was just formulaic. It was like, we found a community. This community is going to work. Oh, no, there's bad guys. This community is blown up. We're going to the next community. And then finally, Rick starts losing his shit in Alexandria. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And then it's all, I don't know stuff. And then Negan.
Yeah.
He decided we have to live together.
He dated that chick. That kid got eaten. Oh, so here's the shit that I didn't like is I felt like there are multiple times where, all right, so Andrew Lincoln is chasing Negan, and Negan runs in a house, and Andrew Lincoln's got the AK, and he is just shooting wildly. And I know it's because he's upset, and he's crazy, and he's unhinged, but like, bro, you've been at this shit forever. Are you trying to kill Negan, or are you trying to shoot bullets in his general direction? Because I feel like he's just like, you know how he holds his AK sideways too. He is trained by the police. He usually just like, boop, 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 hit all the things I want. Negan's running. He's like, let me pull this AK like a fuck.
We should do a Rick Grimes like shooting academy and just hold it just like
Right?
the
It's like when the plot demands it, you hit it every time. But as soon as you're on some silly shit, just
The King County Sheriff's Department.
Fuck
Obviously,
yeah.
they trained their police officers to shoot like.
You should do that.
it's
Do
like
that.
learning how to
Just
play a
skip.
guitar behind your head. It's useless, but fuck it, it looks awesome. And then he also hits Negan in the face with the wrong end of Lucille, and I think it's in that same fight where like he gets the bad Negan's like getting up and he's like, duh, duh. It's just there felt like there were multiple times where those two were together where they could have killed each other, and for the sake of drawing it out in plot, that it had to go on. And it's like, from a writing standpoint, don't put your two main guys who hate each other in the same fucking room until it's going down, because otherwise you're just making me be like, well, are they both trash at their jobs? Like,
Yeah.
they both have guns and both. Look, there's plenty of times where they kill each other.
Like Negan when he first came on, Glenn's death. Honestly, a lot of people didn't like that episode because it was so violent. But that's like the one episode I'm like, wow, they really stuck to the comics and had the balls to do it and show it. And I was like, holy,
It was
shit.
emotional. It was scary. It was
Yeah.
sad. And Negan was scary.
Yeah,
he was so scary.
And then after that, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's time just feels like not wasted, but I just feel like he's such a excellent actor and he plays Negan so well. But like I like him now in season 9. He just
though.
wasn't.
yeah.
But I mean, that whole Negan arc, it was just like we wouldn't see him for a few episodes, and it just they didn't utilize him the best that they could.
I'm a firm believer that if season 7 and 8 was just squeezed into season 7, like the season 7 finale when they like Shiva attacks and Alexandria and all that shit was just the ending of episode 8, 7A, and then 7B was all of season 8. They could have fixed all their pacing issues, done all that content, just squeezed it down. But I think that was just AMC or I don't know who's to blame. Gimple.
That's one of the things, man. Is it really feels like it's one of those shows that could benefit from being every season being 10 episodes, and like it'd have been tight. No one would have. Hell, Nikki Bot. Shout out. So we're gonna be moving on to the next segment after we've taken a big old huge steaming turd on this joint. What did you guys like about episode or season 9?
I want to talk. Can I talk?
Go fine.
Okay. So first, I want to talk about.
No, don't do the swivelly because then you be all.
Damn it, my phone died.
Well, I want to talk about Negan because you all were talking about how, they didn't really utilize him, which I 100% agree with. But one thing I really, really, really enjoyed about last season was his redemption arc, where
I think it's still going a little bit.
It's still going. I mean, he still needs to put in work for the whole community to forgive him and for him to just, become part of the society again. But him kind of going after what's Judith, yeah,
Little baby
Judith and the dog in the middle of a
Blizzard.
that blizzard was insane, and they could have both died, but he just did the self-sacrifice and he saved a child and a dog. I mean, how better can it get?
That's I think it's like a film writing trope, like you save the kid, save the dog,
And, like,
save the cat.
The child of
Right.
Rick also. I mean, Shane.
I want to point out, just to go along with that, there was that point where he was talking shit to Maggie when Maggie went there to finally kill him, and she pulled him out of the cell, out of the darkness into the light, and he looked like a sad old grandpa. And she was like, "Oh,
Yes."
And like for a moment, you're like, "Oh shit, that's it." Like that it was like Negan is defeated. Like, you're not a savior. You're done with the whistling. You're done with the bat. Like, you are officially defeated right here. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna throw your ass back in there." And then when they do that time jump, you see him in like this new like he's like found his like kindled wisdom and shit. He still talks shit, but like, it's like that's tight.
Father, not the father.
I wonder how Judith would feel though if she ever stumbled upon any of those pictures that they took of the victims after a Negan beating. It's like, this is what he did to your Uncle Glenn. And it was like, oh.
Judith's fucked from the get go though. She's already shooting people. She don't give a shit. She'll be like, yeah.
She's somehow handling a 357 Magnum. So
without like doing 2 backflips.
I mean, she's had a weird family history. It's like your brother killed your mom, your dad and your brother killed your actual father.
we need a Dr. Phil episode.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Dr. Phil of the zombie apocalypse.
Judith is one of the reasons I'm watching the show. Like my cousin, Devansha, he doesn't watch. He just waits for it to come on Netflix and then he binges. And he texts me and he was like, "I actually really love this season." I was like, "Cool.
Yeah.
It's having a good effect on people." Wait, do you want to say your moment?
No, I was double checking. We're going around. You got more?
Yeah. There's a couple more things that I really liked. When Michonne came around to accept, strangers, because she was on that whole we don't accept anybody who's different, and then we found out the whole mystery with the cross on her back.
Yeah.
That was really
The
good,
child
kind of like
branding.
a side subplot that I enjoyed. And finally, when they finally had the balls to kill off some main characters, that was heart wrenching, especially with Cora and Henry.
Tara.
Tara. You said Cora.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Same thing.
Tara. So those two, I feel like they kind of made me feel better after they let Rick survive.
Yeah.
So
Well-
those are my moments.
Sriracha, you wanna lend some
Yeah.
some sparience?
I do like the overall progression of the pace of the season because in the first half we had Rick's final episodes and trying to create this bridge. And
Literally.
Yeah.
Bridge.
I rewatched Rick's final episode last night because I hadn't seen it until we'd seen it the first time. And I remember being angry that they made him live. But now I'm like more excited about the Rick Grimes movies. And I'm hoping they're just like Fast and Furious style, crazy. Rick is riding a horse underneath a semi-truck. I don't know. And his final episode was really, like, the music was really good, leading up to the part where he has to destroy the bridge that they've been building. And, like, it's kind of sad and fucked up. And seeing Daryl and Michonne and everyone's reactions to it was very powerful. Obviously, he's still alive. His Jadis was like, "Oh, I'm saving a friend." But
The whole, is he an A or a B? He's an A.
it's like we don't know the plot of the movie yet. Let's just call him a B. We'll figure out what the fuck that means.
So somebody pointed out in the recap that if you're a B, that means you have to get bitten. Because you said Gabriel was a B, and then she was holding a zombie over him. And then she's like, he's an A. So, like, that's the only difference we know between A's and B's is that, I'm just going to say B is bitten, A is alive. But, like, Rick was allowed to be, he didn't have a zombie in her face. Also, what's up with Jada?
So Rick wasn't bitten.
I know. So he was an A. That's what she said, too. She was like,
I thought it was.
I think she said he was a B.
I thought it was like alpha and beta. Like this guy can be a leader and this guy's not.
this guy's a bitch-ass bitch.
Alpha and Beta were the Whisper. And like
Yeah.
then we went straight into the time jump midway through the first half, and then the whole Whisper arc. One of the hype moments was Jesus' death.
Yeah.
I thought that was
In
really
the
fucking
graveyard.
and Henry's death. I mean, we were building up this kid this whole time. Like, who's going
To
to
the
replace
new
Carl?
Carl, yep.
Obviously, they're not going to
New
kill this
Carl.
kid, and they killed him and Enid and Tara and so many people. It was it was pretty dark.
And even that, like, teen chick who was just like, I'm just here to be a background teen. No, you're not.
I'm just a girl. And now I'm dead in a spike.
Which is like, because they usually, when they give you those characters that they're going to kill like that, I don't know why, because they got like a decent amount of development, and it didn't feel like she was going to die. I can usually tell when Walking Dead typing someone there, oh shit, they're with Tyrese this whole episode, like, all right, but like, for that, you're just like, oh, I didn't see that shit coming.
And like what it means for Carol. It's like, that's what my cousin texted me. He was like, how many times does Carol have to adopt a surrogate kid until she realizes that she can't do this ever?
Like, we'll just look at the flowers. Like,
Oh
God.
man.
All right, what about you?
We're talking about season 9 specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, like moments you like.
I honestly liked how it started when they went to the museum to get that carriage out of there.
Yeah, that shit was cool.
That was dope because everybody was like a team, and you're there's a reason for what they're doing, why they're doing it.
Jody was there,
and you kind of see where this is going. It's like, oh, they're gonna start employing like old world technology and like kind of like start building a society again.
And the movie, they want to steal the movie so that they can feel like
Yeah.
they're in a
Oh,
cultured society
the
again.
Highwaymen,
Yeah.
dude, the Highwaymen were dope.
and then that guy died.
And then he died. Yeah. See, it's like they introduce all these cool characters. Okay, but like the death where everybody's on the spike, that was shocking and
Yes.
unexpected. And I think that's what they try to do with Carl's death. But Carl is.
Carl's was fucked up.
There's certain characters that you just know are gonna have plot armor, and I think with Carl's death, it was a big gamble for them. Like, ooh, you guys didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But everybody was like, but then you don't. But then you don't have that reaction with arguably a lot more people dying. But for some reason, that felt better. It felt
They were
more-
both unexpected, but one was unexpected in a good way, and the other one was unexpected. Like, what the fuck?
It
are you
seemed like
doing?
they killed Carl just to try to raise ratings for season 8 because
Yeah.
they were dropping.
Exactly.
And season 9 was actually, that was in the comic and that actually happened in the story, the whole spike.
I will watch the Rick movies, but it's this is AMC's golden goose, and they are gonna just squeeze every egg out of this until people just get sick of it. Which I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but that's the only thing. It's like I'm gonna watch these things. It's entertaining enough to watch, but it's always in the back of my mind, like, when is this gonna end?
I
Like,
think you mean it's their untitled Golden Goose.
there you go. It's the untitled golden goose. And I swear at the end of the third movie, he's going to die and then be ridden off into another chopper. And then Scott Gimble's going to be like, we have another 4 movies spread out over the next 10 years. Like,
He's just in a video game, and every fucking chapter ends with a chopper.
It's gonna be
ride.
like, there's gonna be immersive VR gaming by then. It's like, now Rick, you get to be in the apocalypse with Rick Grimes.
Rick Grimes in movie 8, he's like in a wheelchair with like a shotgun. Like,
I'm a wheel over you.
She's got knives all around the wheels. So,
I mean, season 9 was great. I mean, the writing is a lot better. Whatever they did with the writing changes, it worked. But yeah.
Hey, shout out to all 80 of you watching.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. What's up, everybody? I've done myself a disservice by overwriting my notes, so I'm just gonna read a bit of this chunk, which I know isn't super fun, but we're discussing. So, what are the highlight moments of season 9 for you? Beta versus Daryl in a broad fucking daylight. That shit, because like usually the fights are at night. This one was broad daylight in a building, change of scenery. Like that was a video game moment. That shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and he had all those like not booby traps, but all those like secret compartments and shit. Like
Because he had time to prepare, and seeing Daryl get time to prepare for a fight, and then like winning that fight, even though he is outclassed, like strength wise. That dude Beta's a fucking. Why is his name Beta? Anytime Alpha says "my dollar,"
My daughter.
My daughter. Also, guys, a brief aside, this episode's brought to you by a fun skit that we shot down in Miami while everybody's on the beach. You can hear Marquetta saying, my daughter.
And is that Michonne over there?
Is that Michonne? And she is shit-faced and wasted in the ocean, and we all are, and it's hilarious. Go and watch that skit. It's
Don't do it.
just, I don't know, look up Normies Miami vlog, you'll find it. Totally
I
worth
hate
it.
you, Chris.
It's hard to
This
tell
is
how drunk you
divorce.
are when you're in the ocean.
Yeah, because the water's moving. It's already Henry's starting to grow on me before he was taken away. All the deaths, they really seemed like they mattered. There was a moment I was worried that it wouldn't hit. Like, I was like, I don't know. But then, like, it totally hit. And you just feel that weight. We lost characters from season 3. Fucking Tara, like, she's been around for a gang of time. She just felt untouchable. And it reminded you anybody could be touched. It was a huge Walking Dead moment. I think it's gonna be like if the Negan thing hadn't happened, this would be like a huge TV moment. Yeah. But for Walking Dead for the series, it's a big deal, and it felt like this season had a lot of big deals in it.
I heard in the comics Ezekiel's head was on the spike.
Damn.
So I'm glad that
Oh
they
my
chose
God.
to spare him.
Oh, sheesh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's got so much, like, there's not a lot of other characters, but, like, I love Daryl, but he doesn't have charisma. So, like, if Ezekiel's not there, like, who's got the charisma to carry it? And, also, motherfucking Luke and the crew.
Kowalski, I knew it was against the new characters were really good this
They
season.
they brought in a new crew, and they felt fun as fuck. They had dynamics. Connie, what was Connie's little sister's name?
I can't remember.
But the slingshot girl, let's see. Honestly, the Rick X Daryl. Oh yeah, the Rick X Daryl scene where they fall in the pit too. That was.
Oh yeah,
they had to like be brothers.
Sorry.
Shout out to Eliezer.
That was the one good positive thing that came out of the whole Civil War story, the little rift. Because I think Norman Reedus actually starting to act way better now that Rick's gone.
But also, do we talk about like the very beginning of the season when Jesus dies? And that fight when they finally find out that they're actually people.
That's my last thing on here is anytime you find out a zombie is actually a whisper was an awesome moment. Zombies were no longer scary anymore. All those zombies are coming on the bridge, and Daryl's like, I'm just gonna start shooting them in the legs to see what happens. Shoots a guy in the leg, and he's like, ah! And you're like, oh shit, that dude's a dude, or the guy ducks. He fucking ducks. You're like, they got 10 years of zombies doing one thing, walking and eating, and then finally one ducks, and it blows your.
It was great. It was a great moment. I'm excited to see what they do with the warfare for season 10 if they're going to war. Like, how is it going to be different now? The Whisper's going to be fighting with herds of walkers, regular walkers around them, and how are they going to be able to tell?
It's like it really feels like, I know it's a comic book, but it feels like video game progression where it's like, this is like, but how are the Whispers not the final boss? Like, what literally can they do after this? I think that if it makes a shift towards like the more community building aspects, that's maybe the way to go, because that inner community politics, it could start to kind of become zombies on Game of Thrones. But and we saw in the trailer they're moving towards the beach, so that's going to be a whole new area, whole new way to fight them, because I don't know, like, there's something with the beach that they're going to have to use tactically. I can't think of what it is yet, but it's going to be cool.
The new arm attachment with the spike ball. Like,
I
can't wait to see
for
that.
Fucking Aaron.
And fucking shields and shit. Like, yeah, man, it's cool.
Oh, yeah, solid development for some of those tertiary, secondary characters. Like Aaron. I mean, Tara got some before she was offed. Like, even Tammy and the other guy.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they killed Tammy.
the drunk. That was like, all of that stuff was super interesting. And also, fuck Gregory all day long. I'm so glad that dude's dead. He was one of the.
That was also a good moment.
It was, because he was such a fucking worm. You were like, dude, how are you still alive? No, please.
He's a Jerry.
He is a Jerry. He's like the Jerry, like, worm with his butt in the air.
Yep.
So now that I've made that noise and those shaking moments, what do you guys think is going to happen with the community? What do you see happen with the community moving forward? All the communities, because the kingdom has fallen, so we know that they're all about to merge, but like, do they have the space? Do they have the resources? Because that's the other thing too, is they got to fight all that shit while still worrying about the Whispers.
Well, one thing that this last season didn't address was Maggie and what she's doing over at the
with Georgie. We don't know where they're at.
The other place with Georgie. So
and the twins.
I feel like that's going to have something to do with saving the community over the winter time, like with supplies, and also probably like building some new infrastructure. I would like to see that, see more involvement from Maggie. I want her back.
I will be surprised if she comes back.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it's going to be more one of those things where it's like, oh, we don't know where Maggie's at, and then we're just not going to talk about her for a long time, and then people are going to forget, and we'll be like, oh yeah, Maggie.
really?
So like
everyone
forgot about Heath.
R.I.P.
Oh yeah, he's still
Did
out.
he ever?
He's still out there.
Dr. Dre will show back up. So my quick question is this: is how long has Maggie been gone? Has she been gone long enough to build like a Harrier jet? Like, has she learned like what if she comes with like just truly advanced technology?
She had the kid.
What if she comes back with like the laser from the fucking Call of Duty zombies?
Yes.
The ray gun. She's like, I've been working on this for years.
She's been running 30 rounds on Kino.
Here's how you do it. You gotta round them up and run circles.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, make one of them a crawler.
We have a
That's the only way.
strategy. We have a strategy. I brought a case of Nuka-Cola.
But I also want to see them like actually addressing the situation of the zombie apocalypse and killing all of them and maybe burning them. I don't know.
But yeah,
Like make that disappear. Do something.
because it's if you look at it like
Clean
a
up.
disease, there's like a very easy way to solve this disease.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, easy as in like there's like 2 steps. Step 1 is kill all the zombies. I'm aware that that's not easy, but that's step 1 is kill all the zombies, and step 2 is every time someone dies, stab them in the head. And then
but
you
that is
literally
like the population of the Earth, though. Like, how do you kill all of them?
you get an
They
island.
are dead already.
You do it on your island. You find. Hey guys, sorry about that. Our
Nothing
audio
happened.
thing fell from under the table and disconnected.
Nothing happened. You didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything.
No, rip. We're done. We're done. So I do know that it's the population of the world, even if it's just the population of the United States. Imagine if it was an area that you could control that's already fenced or something like that. You just got to start and build your way out and be like, that's all we do. It's like we got a group that goes out every day. I mean, it's not impossible. It's a huge task. It might take a decade, but
I mean, it's like
Maybe just
I think with all the
like in your radius, like maybe build a barrier like
but
within a 3 mile
literally
radius.
they've been doing like the prison Alexandria. They always get the problem where the herds will just come, and it's while you're trying to find resources and food and all that. That's already hard enough. So to already section off a squad to just kill all walkers is a little unreasonable.
got you. This is how you do it. You find a peninsula. All right. And in that way, you are surrounded by water on all 3 sides except for one side. So that's a bottleneck. Even if the peninsula is somewhere like.
But then you have nowhere to run if in case a hurt comes.
But no, if it's that's what I mean. Think about like Rhode Island. Rhode Island's small. You know what I mean? That's like you got to start small like that. Be like, we're going to take over Rhode Island. And then that's enough for everybody to live and strong. And then you build your community out from there. Or even Manhattan's an island. I know that it's a shit ton of buildings. Yeah. But like, if you can find an area like that where you're like,
Alcatraz.
I'm going to start here.
No.
Or what is the other one on in New York?
Joliet Jake.
Staten Island.
Kung Fu Night
There's
wants to
Staten
know.
Island.
This is what you
That's
do.
built on a pile of trash.
This is what you do. You know, for any herds,
Literally, it is.
for any herds that come around, you just have the 2 cars ready with the wire.
Yeah.
That you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
That shit was hype as fuck.
Can we do that to every single group of zombies ever?
That was
wasn't
amazing.
this. That wasn't this.
No, I don't think it was. That
That
was
was season 7.
Yeah, that was so
fucking-
cool.
oh, 'cause they were
That was
about to attack the. They were getting ready to attack the saviors. Right?
Yeah,
That was like
they
part
were
of their
laying
plan
down
for
the
that.
dynamite, and then a herd was coming, and they were like, "Let's Fast and the Furious this shit." Like,
See, I mean, there's
That was the best Rick and
ways.
Michonne shipping moment ever. He was like looking at her, he's like, "You ready for this, girl?"
both of them just have like giant rock hard boners.
That's
and,
good sex that night.
Arthur Golan or Andrew Golan, but he said there's a theory that Jadis traded Heath for supplies.
You know what? That would. Fuck. If that's how they write that off, she's like, I'm gonna do you just like I did that one guy. You remember your friend Heath? Yeah, you remember him? I sold him for supplies. Yep, that's what happened. Well, fucking Heath is literally still walking around the universe somewhere. Like what? So yeah, I'm hyped for the community building stuff. I really like when they kind of added the quality of life things. Walking Dead's been about survival for so long that now that it has kind of started to be about living and building on that, that really warms my heart. I'm a big sucker for those hopeful moments. When Luke gets his Stradivarius out and it gets sliced in half, my heart ached, and he was like, he has to like tell people why it's important for music and shit like that. It's not just because it's music, but like all art, even with the movies, it's like we need these things so that our life becomes about living, so we can get some of our humanity back, because that's one of the things that separates us from the animals is all of our extracurricular activities. Animals eat and fucking sleep like we do, but animals don't make movies. I mean, some of them do.
Society, man.
CJ, I miss Merle also.
Yeah. Merle and his casual racism, and then he died all sad, but that's because he went to go be Mary Poppins, y'all.
Another thing's like I said, was it Ron and Tammy? Like characters like that. Like cool to see actual people living in the hilltop. Because for a while it was just like, who the fuck is here?
R.I.P. Tammy too.
And he had a drinking problem, and it was all like
He's a
legit
blacksmith,
shit.
so, like,
And
yeah.
didn't they adopt a kid?
They adopted
Yeah.
Baby?
yeah, the baby that Rick found in
Yep.
the.
No, it was Connie, because Connie got the baby because
Connie
the
got the
walkers were
baby,
like, or
yeah.
not the whispers were like, that baby's crying, leave that baby. But like what the fuck, whispers? I do like it when the bad guys have like those contradictions in them that shows you that they're like totally shit heels too. Like they're like we live like they do, and we're like we got alpha and we're like animals and all that. But then she's also like, you brought your baby, so fuck you and your baby. I'm gonna get the screen put up one day. I just don't know which side to put it on.
What's up, Daryl Dixon?
Eat a dick, son.
Eat a fucking dick. Don't do that. We're just kidding.
But yeah, so I also want to see what's going on with Georgie. I want Georgie to come back and bring some. I just like she had a lot going on, and it seems like she's from a community that might have way more technology and shit. So I want to see that come back and be implemented.
Do you think Georgie's middle initial is A and her last name is Romero?
Georgie A. Romero.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
That would be that'd be a really silly waste of a joke there.
Or
It would be pretty dumb, yeah.
or last name Armani. Do you
Giorgio
think those people with the caravan that gave him the book in the first place are ever going to come back?
No, those are people
That's
talking about. That's
Georgie.
Georgie and him.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, guys, we're gonna just end the podcast here. Everybody, shame Mickey out of existence.
Real quick, another prediction about season 10. I don't know if this is a spoiler because everyone's talking about it in the chat, but Denai Guerrera, this is her. That's in the question. Is it the next thing?
It's in the notes. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you
apparently
want
can
to
watch
jump
it.
ahead.
No. Well, let's wait.
Apparently, you can watch it now. Like the first episode, you can watch it now.
On AMC Premiere.
Yeah.
Wow. So, while we're here in a little mid-roll, guys, it's been about a whole entire 30 minutes. Means probably about another 30 minutes left. If you guys are interested in talking with us, feel free to hop over to the Discord. We're going to be sliding down and doing some calls. People haven't been doing that a lot lately, but if you want to say anything about The Walking Dead, if you go to our Discord and go all the way down to the voice channels, we're going to be picking some people to talk with towards the end.
Please
Also,
do it.
Like you guys are asking questions in the chat, ask them in the Discord.
So
Yes.
we can hear your beautiful voices and ask you where you're from. That's what we do. You can also find the podcasts are up on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Spotify. We're going worldwide, baby. So feel free to do that. Now, moving on to the final sections.
John Smurl says in the comics, the White Claw gang is actually the final boss.
Oh, yeah. All the zombies are just, they're not even zombies. They're just dehydrated.
Rick's like, how do we kill them? It's unstoppable.
White Claw gang.
White Claw gang.
Beat them up. Eat their shit.
Take a shit.
Has the show overstayed its welcome for anybody? I mean, like, how can it continue to remain relevant when it kind of seems like at this point it's pulled out all the tricks? I know that the comic books are still around, but like, for no one who knows the comic books, please don't spoil this, but like, how does it get bigger than the Whispers? What's next? We've seen it all.
I know what the next storyline is, but I don't know how they're going to get there.
Yeah.
So I won't say it for you guys.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
And
know.
it
man.
is bigger.
What?
Honestly, that's happened for me several.
Burger King?
Like you said, there's ups and downs in the show. So there's been at least 2-3 times where I was like, okay, I'm done, and then it's like, no, but wait, let me show you this, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of cool.
But I mean, it's all been like singular, charismatic bad guys who run a neighborhood so far. You know, the governor, Terminus, Negan.
Yeah.
So, and then to see the Whispers who are like, well, no, we're nomads, we're herders. That's all different. I think unless Canada starts a war with the survivors in America and they use zombies on leashes and it becomes
Yeah.
World War Z, I just really don't know how much higher Nazi zombies.
You know, with all these like really evil people
Nazi
in their
tornado.
general vicinity, at some point somebody must have been like, you guys want to try like a different state?
You guys
Like,
always say this,
guys
but
wanna
damn
get the
it,
fuck outta
they
here?
found Alexandria and they said this is going to be our home. No matter where they go, there's always going to be shit heels. So you have to stake your ground and protect it. At least that's what I think. I totally see where you guys are coming from. They're like, they should go to an island, but man, they bled for that place.
Yeah, but
Carl died there.
That's the sunken cost fallacy, man. Doesn't mean they got to stay there.
They
When
would have stayed at the prison forever if the governor didn't fuck it up.
They probably would have, and guess what? The prison sucks.
No, they had crops and
They
shit.
couldn't
Like
get those
big
fences
ass
to
prison
stay
was
up
pretty
for
censored.
a dick amount of anything.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying, if it was our group, obviously we all be dead. But I'd just be like, let's find a spit of land we know we can hold, because every time we try to stay still, somebody gets murdered in the ass with a bat.
Yeah, I do think an island would be good, but also you're saying like water can protect them from zombies, but there are literally zombies in the water.
We know the comics are over. I'm talking about the next arc in the show based off the comics. Jesus. Not the character Jesus. I'm talking about you. Jesus.
No, Jesus is dead. But like, what I'm saying is that I don't know what the next arc's going to be. Surge does. I just don't know how it could be bigger than the Whispers, which the Whispers would have felt like a good final boss, and then they're just like, hey, not that we killed all the bad guys, but I want to see them figure out a system that's like future proof. I think they're smart guys. I think that's what everybody should be working for. In medieval times, you know what I mean? They didn't have zombies, but people were trying to come at them from all angles. So they built up kingdoms, and then those kingdoms had castles and they were fortified. And then after that, they made alliances with other castles, and then they had the whole realm. And like, that's how it starts. You just build out and you make friends, and your friends protect you, and everybody watches their back until you have a state, until the European Union starts.
They have the charter.
Yeah, but that's only 3 of them, and they all live like pretty close. So that's what I'm saying.
It's a start. They didn't have that at the beginning of the season.
That's the realm. Now I want it to get big.
I believe the next arc in the comic is the final arc in the comic. So if the show were to go past like season 11, then there's no more comics to adapt.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so this is what happens, okay? No, we'll talk about it at the end. I got my predictions. Predictions at the end. So, with the rumors being heard that Michonne is leaving, I'm going to read you a thing that I pulled from the internet. That's my clearing throat voice. THR is reportedly that Danny Guerrera, Denia Guerrera.
Deny Guerrera.
Michonne.
No, I'm going to learn her name because I do want to see the next thing that she's going to be in. Is actually show running a new series for HBO Max, Warner Brothers Media's upcoming streaming service that combines HBO content and other offerings. This show is called Americana. But it's not spelled like Americana. It's spelled like America-ana. Based on the best-selling book by, I'm going to fuck this up hardcore, Chamanada Nogazia Adichie. Yep. I'll let everybody else try to read this one.
She got that Marvel recognition now.
TNA.
No bitch-ass AMC show.
And it tells the story of a woman who leaves Nigeria for America. That woman will be played by Lupita Nyong'o, and so it's
cool.
their collaboration together, and she's going to be show running. So she's like,
That's great. I always wanted to see them together.
As an actor, from her perspective, I think that sounds a little bit more fulfilling. So I don't blame her for doing that.
Anybody? Also, guys, I found out that I need to watch this because I'm like 50% Nigerian according to some tests I did.
Not according to your pronunciation.
No. Would anybody else like to try to pronounce his name? It's right there.
Let me see.
It's on.
Should we get Pat in here? He's from Africa.
Pat Africa. Go for it, Mickey. What do you got?
Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie?
See, that's probably way better. There was just too many letters.
I don't know where Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Oh, see, once again, you've been to Africa though, so you've got practice.
I ain't never been.
I
love the first name. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Ngozi. See, my next trip is to Nigeria to get in touch with my roots. But yeah, doesn't that fucking sound amazing for her though? So I think if she's going to be off the show, then the question is, how are they going to do that? Is she going to die? Is she just going to walk away? How can she literally leave Judith without being dead?
Someone's theory in the comments, I'm sorry I forgot your name, but they said that they think she's going to find out that Rick's alive, and so she's going to go search for him.
But she has to take the kids. She will not leave those kids, period.
No, maybe you should be like, Daryl, please watch Judith.
Yeah.
And she's going to take RJ with her?
Because, like, I feel like if she just had a hint of Rick being alive, she'd be like, I'm going to go search for him. And then maybe she'll just be gone. And then in, like, the third trilogy movie, Rick's like, I found you.
But, like, Michonne is she's been a good, like, strong, like, stay the fuck away from my kids type of mother. She even felt bad for killing those kids she had to kill. She's not going to leave those kids, dude. And that means that Judith is going to be off the show. So, Judith can't be off the show. Judith has to be on the show. Michonne's going to die.
Yeah, Michonne,
that's, like, the only reason.
Michonne has to, but because anytime these big characters, like, it's been recent where a lot of actors on the show are like, all right, I'm out, peace. But the way they leave, like Rick is alive, but obviously he's contracted for 3 more movies. I don't know.
Contractually obligated to be alive.
I don't know if there's a contract for
Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie or Michonne, but like if they leave the show in a way that like, oh, they'll be back, they're not coming back. Lauren Cohen is not. I would be very surprised if Lauren Cohen comes back.
If she comes back, I feel like it'll be a guest spot for one episode where they kill her.
It's like,
what a waste.
We brought her back, and now she's gone.
But now she's got to go. Man, so yeah, because I thought about it for a while though, but like legitimately, I think it's way outside of Michonne's character to leave the kids. And I think that the show needs baby Judith. So maybe both of them leave together to go look for Rick, and then Rick gets united with his whole family.
Maybe that's why they're kind of building up Negan and Judith's relationship. Maybe he'll be...
And that's what I'm thinking, is that Negan will take care of the kids.
He be the daddy.
Because I heard this spoiler forever ago about Negan's backstory, which I still won't mention because he's still around this long. But
they still haven't done it.
If the thing about his backstory, if any of that actually was true, or the part that I heard, I think like someone was telling me this at a bar or some shit. It just stuck with me. If any of that actually ends up being true, then it would make sense that some other things would happen. Also, Discord is an opening guy, so
I want to see some of Magna's backstory, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, man. Like just like Connie and Daryl together, man. Yeah. Where's the sex music button? I don't have that yet. That's what I like to listen to while I have the sex. It's Surge screaming out of a phone.
He tells me to sit there in the corner and just look away and do that.
Yep, Surge, please just help me in the other direction. So
Marquetta gets really upset.
Who is last 2 questions, and we're gonna be wrapping this up. I'm still gonna try to do these calls, guys, but if I can't open the Discord, I don't know how
open.
I am. There it is, it's open. Who's your favorite character of last season?
I like Sadiq ever since he showed up, because he actually is on the same thing that I want. I feel like if I was in that universe, I would probably be dead. But if I wasn't, I would probably be trying to like kill them off, like make them dead and not walking.
Yeah.
And he's been on that thing, and
He's
he continues to
died.
have that same kind of mentality and then same, I don't know, morality. And I like that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the new characters that they brought in. I really like the new group dynamics with the Daryl and the deaf girl.
Connie. That's Connie, right?
Connie.
What is her sister's name?
Yeah, but I really like that. It was because that was cool. Like it was like, oh, there's a deaf person in this world and surviving, and there's
and Connie and Daryl together.
Yeah, I really like their dynamic. I enjoyed that.
Kind of feels like they were just like ready to fuck all sorts of shit up.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what it is.
I think the little actress they chose for Judith is perfect, and she can actually act out the emotional scenes believably. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Chandler Riggs gave himself a hard time for like not being able to act Carl well. I think he did fine. I do think the actress that plays Judith is very talented and already at like a level with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just great to see this character that has been there since we found out Lori was pregnant in like season 2, and we were worried because her and Shane fucked in season 1. Judith has kind of been like she was conceived in season 1 probably, and like to see this character now with all this history behind her that she doesn't even know or is aware of, all the shit they went through to keep her alive.
Yeah.
She's like the new hope of the series to me.
I like that one movie, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek: A New Hope.
God.
I haven't seen those ones.
So
that a
obviously, my favorite character is Luke because of his love and his affinity for music. But also, I thought Daryl got a lot of development this season with him being like making a stand for Lydia, and that's like outside of his character. But fuck Almighty, if that didn't make a shit ton of sense.
Yeah. Also, the best character, hands down, the dog.
Dog.
I really like the Highwayman. It's like, we're holding you up. Wait, you guys got Blu-rays? Oh,
Right.
fuck yes.
Oh, so I meant to mention that because it was a really big moment because it was the first time we saw Carol use diplomacy.
Yes.
Carol's usual go-to is super murder.
Yeah.
Even like with the I'm a scared old lady, but surprise, super murder. And she was just like, she like turned on the mom charm instantly. She's like, how would you boys like to go see a movie? And they were like, excuse me, ma'am, did you say a movie? Like that.
They were awesome.
Because I think that it's because I like to do music and then I went to film school that maybe I'm a big old softie for it, but I legitimately think shit like that could disarm people. If movies haven't existed in the Walking Dead universe for almost 10 years, this next season's about to be the 10th, so like somebody be like, hey, you want to sit down and watch something that isn't one motherfucker eating another one, and you're like, oh God, you have that? Yes, please. Like, I don't care what movie it is. It could be Birth of a Nation. I'm gonna fucking watch it.
If they didn't kill that dude off, I feel like he could have been the new Abraham because he had that perfect like comic relief kind of personality to him.
Yeah. Eugene kind of finally not being so cowardly and shit. Even Gabriel Gabriel being chill and being like, I'm with Rosita now, but you know, like Sadiq's out here. He was also with Jadis and like.
The calm conversation that Gabriel, Sadiq, and Rosita had about their whole
who
drama.
the baby is.
Yeah, that was good. And
Negan talking shit in the corner. Those are the kind of thing, like, I don't want Walking Dead to become a sitcom, but like now they have enough characters that are like, if we get in a room, there's like enough jokes and enough like charisma just to like fuel. They could do a bottle episode.
And that was what was missing in season 7 and 8. That new showrunner, Angela Kang, I heard she, actually asked the actors and actresses, how do you think your character would feel in this moment? And I think that's something Scott Gimple never did. That's why it always felt like existential and that all the dialogue had to be fucking super macro. And like, we have to keep fighting to live or we don't live. And now they're actually talking about things that are realistic.
Yeah, and it's cool because like all these people have to deal with each other. That's a lot of things that you had in season 1, where people figuring out who does what. What was old boy's name? Dale. Dale being like this nosy neighbor busybody who's always up in everyone's shit. Like,
Dale was
all of that like dynamic was good, and you had a shit ton of it in season 2, and then by the time you got around to season 3, it was governor, prisoner, kidnap, fucking goddamn kidnap.
And that is the fine balance of good writing, because a bad script can make the best actor look like shit.
Yep.
Like, Tara, for example, great actress, not doing much for the past couple seasons, and then last season she got all this development. You're like, holy shit! Like
she's been here since season 3. If you
Same
forgot,
with,
she literally hadn't done
Rosita.
shit.
It might have been season 4, but her and Rosita since season 4 at least. The actress that plays Rosita, Kristen Serratos, I started following her on Instagram. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She's like, besides my girlfriend. And I like all her photos. And every time I comment, I'm like, you're the best character in The Walking Dead. You're the best. I just really want her to fucking respond.
What's her name again?
Kristen Serratos.
Kristen Serratos, if you're watching this, stay the fuck away from him. Look at him, don't you? Just start thumbing down his comments. I know that there's no thumbs down on Instagram. Get a thumb down emoji and post that on his comments. All right, well, let me go back to check the Discord to see if anybody actually wanted to come in and talk to us. Holy crap on a crap stick, there's people. So,
hey, we're up to 93 viewers.
Woo, we're going to be talking to a couple of people and then wrapping up. So,
question, why do we have 93 viewers and less than 50 likes?
Ooh, that's a you guys are gonna hit the like. Since we got 93, just like to mention one more time, our podcast is up on Stitcher.
Criminal.
We're up on Google Podcasts, we're up on iTunes, we're up on Spotify. I'm looking at getting up on Anchor. You guys tell me where you listen to your podcast. I want to make sure you're able to find our podcast there. So the last question was, we were going to talk about what's going to happen in the movies with Rick, but we've almost been at our hour mark, so I think if everybody can give me like just one sentence, just describe the movie with Rick, one sentence, and then we're gonna do these call-ins.
If Scott Gimple were a smart man and he's already fucked things up, here's what he's gonna do. Rick is a bee or whatever is probably some, I don't know, some gladiator type shit.
Fuck you,
and
asshole.
Like he's gonna. Did you say that too?
I have a backup one, but that was my first one.
I think everyone can agree. Everyone can agree that Savage Rick was the best Rick. I mean, at least I thought Savage Rick. And the Savage Rick is
Jugular
between
bite.
season 4 Jugular Bite and when he gets like emasculated by Negan. Like he was just a crazy man. Like he was like, all right, Rick, do it. Shot that dude. He's just great. That's the Rick we love. So I feel like whoever is gonna like use him for like his savagery, and he's gonna like again kind of lose touch with who he is and just be like not remember, and then he'll see like Michonne and be like, I remember now. And,
yeah. Okay, so since I'm just now writing mine, as in this moment, here is what it is. Because we've seen that Jadis has been very interested in the coitus with the old Rick, I think Rick is going to get sold into sexual slavery. And he's going to hate it, but he's going to try to have to find a way to get out. And it's going to be like the Rick dick. And be like, he's one of the strongest ones. And if we can breed babies from this guy, then we can have like a strong army of babies because...
Dick Grimes.
Because he's got all these killer babies out there. But then like Rick's like, no, I got to fight back. He has a relationship with a lady, and they start to escape and they start to get out. And once he actually like gets himself out of this like situation, he finds out that things are even worse on the outside. They're on Zombie Island.
And then in 2032, there's going to be a spin-off series called Rick's Babies, and they're like a big squad, like the Expendables.
Oh, it'll be called Children of Rick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Children of Grimes.
Dick Grimes sounds like a STD.
I can't come to work today, guys. I got Dick Grimes again. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Mickey Marquette, who wants to go?
How do the movies feel to me? Overall unnecessary, but I'm gonna watch them still. I'm just watching this show as just a mindless fun thing now. Well, not the show. I don't know how the movies are gonna be, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about them. I don't like that it happened, but it's happening, and of course I'm gonna watch it.
And what about you, Catty-Wop?
Honestly, since I wasn't there for the beginning, as I already mentioned, I don't really care for Rick. He hasn't grown to be my favorite character.
You will change your mind when you see
What?
the first half of the show.
Oh my god.
Somebody flip the table over for me.
Either way,
Shut that mic off.
I just don't understand why there's a movie with Rick. I feel like he is a good actor and he could be doing better things with his talent. He could be in a different environment, in a different situation, playing a different character. Because I know he has range, but for so long he had to be this guy. I just don't want that for the actor. You know what I mean?
Put him in Westworld.
Oh, that'd actually be really interesting. So, real quick, before the internet rips you apart, I do want to say that, Marquette, if you would have seen how soft and caring Rick was and all the things it took to change him into being this asshole, I think you'd be more into him. But I do know how you feel about assholes, and coming in while Rick is just kind of being
him being
like,
an asshole. I know he's a positive character in the story. I just didn't like... Because I didn't see all the things he's done, I just don't care for him.
Yeah.
There are other people that I care
That's
for
reasonable.
more.
Yeah. He's the least interesting now, but us knowing what he's been through is probably why we're like invested.
The only reason I care for him is because I like Michonne and I didn't want her to be sad.
From what you've seen of the show, that's a reasonable perspective, but you should definitely go.
Yeah.
It's for whatever the show is now, it's definitely worth it to go back and see those first few seasons because they are just amazing.
And like you get to see Glenn and Maggie's relationship. It's really
And how they started. Oh man.
So guys, I haven't made any call-in music yet. Next week there's gonna be call-in music, but we're switching to call-ins. And our first person that we're calling in is, how do I pronounce this?
Siege.
Siege 10, rock fingers, fire emoji. Siege, is your microphone on, or are you going to get the boot? You got in the boot. You've booted yourself.
Nah.
Now we're talking to Lucy.
Lucy?
Lucy, will you mute us in the background? Because we're trying to talk to you in the foreground.
Maybe she's not on this channel. It looks like she's still hearing. There's a big delay.
All right. I am now attempting to pull callers in for a third time.
Just try
Lucy.
CJ again.
I think they're not aware because when they're watching it, we haven't pulled up the phones yet. We haven't pulled up the Discord yet. Everybody go to your Discord and be ready.
I feel like he is a good actor.
Oh, still haven't gotten to it yet. Lucy, you're not going to know that you missed out until you know. But Siege, I'm just going to...
What you doing, Siege?
Naheed, we're pulling you down. Hello, Naheed. You're on with the Normies.
Hey, that earlier guy could hear you.
What
You
earlier
mean
guy?
CJ?
Thank you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
CJ, as in Siege.
Hey, that
Siege.
earlier guy could definitely hear you guys.
Naheed, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. That's a call in from Naheed. Naheed, where are you calling in from? 30 feet away?
Yes, I'm calling in 30 feet away. Yes.
What do you want to say about The Walking Dead?
I just want to know, as somebody that's like last seen Carl still alive in the show, is it worth even like catching up or getting to this point? Because I just feel like the show is like nothing compared to what it originally was.
Watch
It's
Rick
just-
Grimes' final episode. I
They've
think you should.
taken a knife and stabbed it a couple of times and gutted it and changed things around and assembled like a new man bear pig or some shit.
I would say watch.
Thanks, Naheed.
I would say watch season 7 and 8 if you haven't seen it already at like 150.
No. Yeah.
At 150% speed, just fucking bum rush that
If
shit.
you don't want to, just watch Rick Grimes' final ep. It's well done.
Yeah, just do that, and then you didn't miss it. I missed so many episodes between season 7 and 8. There were at least 5 episodes that I didn't show up for, and I never bothered watching. And I feel like I didn't miss a damn thing. Like
The only thing I missed was Heath and them.
Heath and Tara bottle
Siege
episode.
10, you are on. Siege 10, if you can hear us,
Hey,
it's
what's
your
up,
last
guys?
attempt.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, this is
right.
Siege.
CJ!
You getting oh,
Yeah. Hey, can y'all hear me?
we can hear you.
Hell yeah.
no.
Awesome. What's up, guys? What's
What
good?
up?
How y'all-
Hello, will you tell us who you are and where you're calling from, good sir, please? Thank you.
DC.
Yeah. My name's CJ. I am actually in Hawaii. I don't know. Where
Oh,
That's not, no, I'm kidding.
Disconnect.
jealous.
Disconnect. I hate him.
You ain't in Hawaii. You about to Washington Monument right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm in DC. But I got a question. I got a couple questions for you guys, but we'll see. I popped in late on the podcast, so you guys may have talked about some of this, maybe not. But do you think that The Walking Dead should continue past the source content after seeing some of the ups and downs over the years?
No.
but it will.
I'm gonna say I'm okay with it because if that's the only choice we have, I will suck it up. This will be the never-ending show, and that's how it is.
Nah,
We'll be reacting to
if
this.
they
It
don't-
depends.
If they don't
That's
end
totally
this
fair.
in the
That's
next
totally fair.
1 or
It's
2
like, Sirius is
seasons,
the
I'm
only
done.
one that would like to see it continue. The majority is like, nah, not really. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the majority of the world. Majority of us are a no. Surge wants to see it go. All right, you got time for one more question, Siege. What do you got?
Okay, I got 2 here. Let me see which one I'm gonna pick here. I'm gonna go with this one. So for all these characters that are like, I don't know, missing or gone, the ones that are, kidnapped or whatever, who do you think is the least likely to return within these next few seasons? This is like the Heats, the Ricks, the Maggies. I think Maggie's gone, right?
Yeah.
Whoever else, like, who do you think is the
God
least
damn it.
likely to return?
Why does everybody think Maggie's gone?
Because
I didn't get the memo.
She's moved on to better things.
I think everyone's hoping that we as an audience just forgot about Heath.
exactly.
I
I
want to
don't
see
think he's
Heath come
coming
back.
I want to see Maggie.
I'm gonna
Fuck.
go. I want to see Maggie come back, but I don't think she's gonna. I would be very.
I think she's
surprised.
like too major of a character to never bring back again. And
Yeah.
Rick, I feel like would come back for like a series finale type deal, maybe.
Series finale Rick would be nice. But yeah, thanks, Siege. I don't think Heath's
Yeah, no
making it
problem.
back. I don't think he's making it back at all. All right, Lucy. We're going to pull in Lucy.
Forgot about
Lucy,
Dre.
you're our final caller.
Lucy.
All right, Lucy. We're going to pull in Lucy. Lucy, you're our caller. Hello, Lucy.
Hello,
Yo.
Lucia or Lucy. I'm from California.
Hey,
Woo, whoop, whoop. Oh, you're going to have to mute us in the background or we're
To
going to
be
get the
honest,
loop.
I haven't seen any of season 9.
nope.
Sorry about that. 1 second.
Oh, you're good.
And I haven't seen any of season 9, but I have seen all of the other seasons, and I love your reactions.
Thank you.
To Lost and to Naruto. And
Ooh.
it's great. I
Lost.
love the channel. Y'all are awesome. Just,
Thank you.
I don't really
you.
have a question to say. I just want to say what's up.
Oh, thank
Aw.
you, Lucy.
Thank
Well,
you
hey,
so
Lucy,
much.
thanks. First time caller, long time listener. Thanks for kicking it.
But since you spent so much time watching the show, I would recommend that you watch season 9. It
Yeah,
was
it's-
actually good.
A lot better.
Who's your
It's
favorite
it's
character?
like a night and day difference.
Who's your favorite character then? If you've seen up till like 8
I
or
couldn't
whatever.
hear you, Mickey.
Oh, I would say I'm gonna echo Marquetta. Definitely, like if you've stuck with the show this long, definitely watch season 9 because it's a night and day difference in terms of writing.
Oh,
it's
for sure.
It's a lot better.
I'll do it like what Serge's cousin's doing.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well,
Thank you for calling
heck
in.
yeah, Lucy. Thanks for calling in. Feel free to chat with us next time.
Yay.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys. I accidentally just stuck Lucy in the game night channel over there. We're going to be wrapping up. We're very excited about this next season. It actually looks like it might be good and interesting and fun like this last season was. I kind of have faith. I've got hope. Haven't had hope in a while. Keep in mind that if you want to listen to this podcast, you can find it on Stitcher. You can find it on Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Spotify, and soon making our move to Anchor. That being said, this boy will be live up on Monday.
Can I do a little plug?
Yeah, what's your plug?
Don't forget to tune tomorrow. We'll be doing a book club on Watchmen.
Watchmen.
In the expectation of the the upcoming series. We are reading the book now, so join us for that.
So make sure you watch, man.
Hold on, there's a really funny comment. Mike W says, watching The Walking Dead is starting to feel like when your kid's part of the recital is done and now you're looking at your watch.
Oh my god!
Well, guys, you know what time it is. It's the end of the podcast, and next time we'll have some different kind of fun musics and stuff. Be looking for it live on Monday. Give me all your comments. Let me know where you watch podcast at, and next time we'll be talking about new stuff. Bye, y'all.